Training is definitely making myself better, but I know that it's going to end up making my teammates better.
You have to know your teammate and know what they need.
The cohesion on the field and off the field is what makes everyone strong.
Being on a team, you know it's not just you out there.
I would do anything for the player next to me, behind me, in front of me.
Practicing day in and day out, trying to be the best me so they can be the best them. It's like a sisterhood that you have with those girls.
It's just really empowering. They're all doing crazy things. And you want to be like them and you want to push yourself like them.
Motivates me to work harder, to get faster, quicker.
Pushing each other so hard, all for the same goal. And then when you accomplish it, that's the best feeling in the world.
Once you tap into that, I think you're unstoppable.
It begins with the ball. You see, a ball is not just leather and rubber. A ball is the seed that communities grow around. We're talking split-second moments that become indelible memories. It creates lifelong friendships. It's a reason for people to celebrate. A ball isn't just a ball. It's a life lesson. It's a tool you use to pursue your best. It's how you earn your greatest victories. How you learn to deal with failure. It's a test that you pass. It's a dream that you catch. It's a future you hold in your hands. It's not just a ball. Bada, the official ball of you.
And big welcome back to the Walt Price Fitness Center on beautiful Everett Community College campus as we get you ready for another Sweet 16 matchup. This game going to be featuring the Lower Columbia College Red Devils. Hello everybody, I'm Wes Tucker and I'm joined in the booth by Mike Tatko. Mike, a great day of NWAC women's basketball so far, a few more games to come. And we got a couple more spots to seed in our Elite Eights tomorrow.
Well, a good game coming up here, we hope. Lower Columbia and Skagit Valley. Skagit Valley, one of the teams, a perennial team in this tournament. I think they've been here every year since like 1988. And by the skin of their teeth they're in. They had to defeat Bellevue on the final game of the regular season, a makeup game because of the weather, just to get here. But the Cardinals, under longtime coach Steve Efferson, did just that. They're here, and they're getting ready to take on the Lower Columbia Red Devils, the top seed out of the West.
And Steve Epperson, his 42nd season at the helm of this Cardinals team, longest coaching stint in the NWAC basketball category for sure. 4 championships to his name as well. A prolific coach, to say the absolute least.
Well, and his counterpart, Deb Castle, has done a great job as his assistant for many, many years as Lower Columbia gets the trophy of the regular season Western Division trophy. And you talk about a contrast in coaches. You have a guy who's been here forever, and then you have a first-year guy for the Lower Columbia Red Devils.
Very true. Coach Lucas Myers in his first year leading his Lower Columbia College Red Devils to the Sweet 16 here, and doing so in grand fashion. Number 1 seed out of the West, a very tough basketball conference, and we saw a couple teams from the West already make it into the Elite Eight so far. Well, so will the West have 3 in there?
Well, Centralia with a 58-39 win over Olympic, and then Grays Harbor a 76-65 win over Whatcom. So the West is undefeated, and in our next game at 8 o'clock, our 4th West team, Highline, will take the court against Peninsula from the North. So a chance for everybody from the West to get into the Final 8.
Boy, oh boy. So, again, a good chance, we'll have a 50% chance that happens that a Western team wins it all. Of course, RPI is never on our side as broadcasters, so we kind of just toss that out the window and go with intuition. But we got a good one lined up here as we go through the starters. First off, for the Cardinals, it's going to be Nani Garner, Katie Skipworth, Samantha Cox, Mackenzie Yost, and Mikey Van Ness to start things off for the Skagit Valley Cardinals. And meanwhile, for the Lower Columbia College Red Devils, Kenya Lorton, Shasta Lofgren, Jerry Maloyo, Emily Packham, and Najoni Wheeler. And Najoni Wheeler in her sophomore year, 6'2", out of Port Angeles. Also a very accomplished softball player. Lower Columbia College rode the pitching efforts of Wheeler through the softball tournament a year ago, and they're going to be relying heavily on her to play the paint well today. It's going to be a very physical game up front. The Cardinals, a little more of a shooting team, but they're no stranger to getting aggressive up front.
Well, again, I think both teams are going to have a chance to, I think if you're Skagit Valley, you want to slow the game down, kind of grind it out. You look at some of their scores. They've had some low-scoring victories, and so I think if you're Steve Epperson, you want to kind of slow the pace. I think if you're Lucas Myers, you might want to get up and down, and then, of course, go inside to Wheeler when you can. Huge challenge, I think, for Skagit Valley, although they're really kind of the home team here from the north. But Lower Columbia with a win last year against North Idaho in the first game of the tournament, and then Lower Columbia was then eliminated. So the Red Devils looking to get one step further, at least one step further than they did last year.
And Red Devils always a competitive team, no matter what the sport. Whatever it is about them, maybe it's something in the water in Longview, but they're always a very scrappy and tenacious team.
Should be interesting as the hometown, the home team on the scoreboard, the Red Devils and the Cardinals get ready to go, both red and white. So a good match there as far as the uniforms go, and a good crowd on hand. We've had good crowds all day, and just to recap, Centralia, the win over Olympic, 58-39. Big Bend beat Mount Hood, 89-53. Grays Harbor over Whatcom, 76-65. Umpqua over North Idaho, 68-62. And the game just completed. It was Lane over Walla Walla, 81-73. So 5 down West and 3 to go this evening.
5 down, 3 to go. Skagit Valley going to be wearing the red trimmed with white, scoring on the left tube. Meanwhile, the white trimmed with red, Lower Columbia will be going to the right. And we're just about ready for tip-off. NWAC basketball coming your way live on the NWAC Sports Network. Lower Columbia College winning it off here, and immediately Packham back to the outside. It's going to be Lorton, and now uncontested three off the rim, no good. But Lower Columbia quick on the offensive rebound, getting it back, and now Lofgren works her way back a little bit toward half court. Shot clock down to 20 for the Red Devils. Going back to the outside once more, Lofgren, long three and splash down from downtown. So Skagit Valley quick to respond here. Ball in the hand of Skipworth. And they immediately dump it back over to Yost. Yost right back to Skipworth, directing traffic. Pushing up is Garner, and nearly loses the basketball. And now Skipworth making a pushing effort. Quality defense here from the Red Devils. Long contested three, splash down from downtown. So opening up quickly, 2 threes, 1 apiece, 2 very accomplished shooting offenses, and looks like a decided against 3 from Garner. Now contested one from the near side, no good. Taking the shot that time was Maloyo. Minute and a half have ticked away here in the first quarter of contention, and they're going to get an easy traveling call there on Nani Garner.
You know, I saw the rebound by Skagit Valley West, and it looked like they maybe had a chance to run, and immediately they pulled back, because I just think they kind of want to grind this out and keep this game maybe in the 50s to low 60s to see how they can come out.
I mean, the seating here, no stranger to those low-scoring games. We had a bunch of them here. We thought we were going to have a lower scoring one in our last effort with the Lane Titans and Walla Walla Warriors, but Lane near the end really packing it on to take down the Warriors as pushing to the outside. Long three and splash down from downtown, Kenya Lorton. So Lower Columbia with 2 buckets, both of them 3-pointers, and 1 bucket for the Cardinals, also a 3-pointer. So haven't seen that much aggressiveness up in the paint so far, but a fantastic shooting effort. So they look for an open shooter, pushing up bit outside to the corner. It's going to be Van S. Finds an open shooter, and no good that time as it hits the front iron and the glass. And clock ticks down to 7 minutes and 24 seconds. Lower Columbia with the rock across half court. With it now is Packham. And pushing the effort is Malayo. And three again. This time Lorton off the back iron. No good.
Boy, they move the ball so fast, though. It's hard for Skagit Valley to find out where it is and get to the shooter.
Van S trying to create some space, does so successfully. They backtrack a bit to Skipworth. And backwards fading two is no good off the back iron. Wheeler on the rebound for the Red Devils. And sauntering her way across half court now is Maleo. 6-3 nearly going wide open corner three off the front iron. So Skagit Valley getting away with a little lackadaisical defense there from the far corner. So the ball gets out to Van S, over to Skipworth, and tipped off the hand of Van S and into the hands of the Red Devils. Here comes Packworth, gives over, and no bucket collected there, but a quality effort by Lofgren. And foul on the play. And it's going to be the first foul on Skipworth. First team foul as well for the Cardinals. And checking in now for the Red Devils is going to be Madeline Jacobson, the freshman out of Ilwaco, Washington. On the outside they go to Ackwiltz and intercepted, trying to pass it on in to Jacobson. And Skipworth with the rock. 4 minutes ticking away here in the first quarter. And now Van S. And looks like it's going to go out of bounds off the touch of Lorton. So 15 seconds on the shot clock for the Cardinals. They're going to bring it in from the baseline. And checking in for the Cardinals is going to be Caitlin Meek, the 5'7" freshman out of Port Townsend, Washington. The outside, they do indeed find Samantha Cox, and mid-range two just behind the free throw line. Credit that one to Caitlin Meek, and that's the first 2-point bucket that's been made in the contest.
Well, they put 3 up on the board, but I thought now they changed it to 2, Wes, like you said, so 6-5.
And from right behind the free throw line, here's another 3, and splash down from downtown, Kenya Lorton. So Lower Columbia sticking with the shooting attack, hasn't failed them yet. Outside they try again. Samantha Cox with the rock outside. That gives to Skipworth. Skipworth right back to her. And now Van S pushing the paint, and no good. Rebound, however, is going to be won by Meek. Shot clock at 4. And Skipworth up to Meek, and no good. It's going to be a shot clock violation on Skagit Valley. It'll be Red Devil basketball from the baseline with under 5 minutes remaining. So a timeout's going to be taken. So away we step, but a good one in the offing, 9-5. And we're going to stay here real quick. So again, a competitive first quarter up to this point. 4:56 remaining. What have we seen from both of these teams so far?
Well, we've seen Lower Columbia nail 3 3-pointers and nothing really inside. And I think if you're Lucas Myers, of course you want to have success from beyond the arc, but you can't always rely on that always having success. So they're going to have to work the ball inside, maybe to Wheeler or somebody else. If you're Steve Epperson and Deb Castle, I think they like where they are. I mean, we've played half of the first quarter. They're only down 4, and it's really kind of Skagit's deal. I mean, they like to grind it out, slow it down. I mean, if you were to end the quarter, halfway just like this, we're talking about 18-10, and that's right up Skagit's alley.
I mean, and Skagit, again, we knew this was going to be another close one right out of the gate. 2 very competitive teams going at it here. But Skagit, again, generally pretty solid from the shooting game as well. We've seen them drain 1 3, and that's been it since then. They've got a 2-point bucket from playing aggressive up front on a rebound. But other than that, their shooting game has seemed a little off so far. Well,
it is, and they'll have to try to reconcile that as we get a little bit deeper into this game with Steve Epperson and Lucas Myers going at it head-to-head here.
So it's going to be Red Devil basketball from the baseline. Bringing it in here is Malayo. Go on the outside. Maloyo dumps it right back over to Lorton, and Lorton loses the ball, and it's going to be held. So jump ball. And it's going to go to the Cardinals. Rock tossed in, Skipworth. Across half court, 4:36 remaining in the first quarter. Finds an open Cardinal, that's Garner. And feigning the jumper, pushing up two, and the foul. And that foul is going to be on Madeline Jacobson. That's her first foul, team's first as well, and it's going to send Van Hess to shoot. And she misses the first free throw. And Dejoni Wheeler going to check back in for the Red Devils. Also checking in is going to be Madison Mosier. And Mosier, the Longview native out of Mark Morris High School. And now the second of two shots for Van Ness is good. So 1 for 2, making this a one-possession game, 9-6 in favor of Lower Columbia. Through the first few minutes of the game, they backtrack a bit to Maloyo. Maloyo over to Mosier. Mosier right back in, nearly misplayed by Maloyo and out of bounds off the touch of Kia Charlie. And Charlie, the 5'4" sophomore out of Scammon Bay, an Alaska native. Lorton with the ball, gives right back to Maloyo. Maloyo approaches the top of the key, goes left. And Wheeler has it batted away. Pushing up, nearly all alone, one-on-one, and easy layup that time for Samantha Cox. And Wheeler with the ball, and there's the first Devils point that isn't from behind the arc.
Well, they have to use that inside game when they can, because you can't always rely on the three-pointers. And again, another thing, Wes, when they do have success inside, it just opens up the outside even more.
So on the outside now, Charlie with the rock, gives back to Van Ness. Van Ness, long three, no good. Rebound by Meek, and Wheeler trying to come away with it, and still in Cardinal possession. Up and no good from Samantha Cox, and Wheeler finally comes away with it. And Wheeler, an absolute tank in the paint. And now Lorton gives to Wheeler. Wheeler, long three, and no good off the back iron and glass, and that's going to be a foul. Takes place on the ground, however, and see who they credit it to. It is going to be on Van Ness. It's the first foul on Van Ness, second team foul for Skagit Valley, trailing the Red Devils by a score of 11-8 here in the early goings. 2:55 remaining in the first quarter. From the corner, here goes Maloyo, in and out, no good, and stolen away. It's going to be Devil basketball.
Great job by Lower Columbia. Even though the miss, you don't anticipate or you don't just expect it to go to the other side. You continue to battle and they get another possession out of it.
So Lower Columbia stolen away by Skipworth. Pushing up, and a foul in the process. So 2:42 remaining here. Again, 11-8 to score. A lot of basketball left to play in two more games after the conclusion of this one. Skipworth with the rock from the baseline. Go to the outside. Here's Charlie. Corner three. No good off the iron. And it's going to be Devil basketball. Another foul on Skipworth. That's her second personal. And that is the team's third.
Highline and Peninsula in the 8 o'clock game. And then Wenatchee Valley and Clackamas to end things tonight at 10.
Boy, we're talking about a formidable end to the Sweet 16. That's going to be another barn-burning game. Go outside. Here's Mosier. Mosier, pass in the middle. Up it goes, and unable to off the back iron, courtesy of Jacobson. And now Skipworth trying to work her way around Mosier. Finds Charlie. Outside again to Skipboard. Charlie passes into Meek, and now Samantha Cox long three off the back iron, no good. Stolen away, here comes Lorton. Lorton pushing up and no good. Will draw the foul, however. Foul is going to be on Samantha Cox. That's her first and the team's fourth here in the first quarter. Under 2 minutes to play. And Lorton to the line. Lorton, 69% free throw shooter, went 69 for 100 on the season, so easy calculation. And drains the first one, no problem. Couple New Devils checking in. Shasta Lofgren checking in, as well as Emily Packham checking back in. And checking back in for the Cardinals is Emily Toyson. So one more shot for Lorton. And off the rim, no good. Samantha Cox with the ball. Pass over to Charlie to the outside. Cox for three. Splash down from downtown.
And now they stop the game. The officials, one went up with his arms, and then the other official pointed at the line, Wes, as if she was standing on it, and they indicate it's a two-pointer instead of a three-pointer.
All right, so a long two made by Samantha Cox. It is 12-10 Lower Columbia, still with a slim one-possession advantage. A lot of game to go here as they pass up to Mosier. Mosier from the far side going back to Lorton. Lorton for three, and off the front iron, no good. Wheeler tries to get to it, but Charlie comes away with the rebound. Now Charlie trying to work her way around Mosier, finds Samantha Cox. Cox right back to Charlie. Charlie up the middle, and there's a foul. That foul is going to be on Melanetti Kata. That is her first personal, and it's going to be Skagit basketball from the baseline. Minute 14, Cox puts it up, no good. And coming away with it is Lorton. Minute and 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter. They go way outside to Mosier. Mosier right back. And they're going to get a foul on the charge up front. And that's going to be a foul on Yost. That's her first personal, and the 15th foul for Skagit. Going to the line to shoot a couple for the Red Devils is Packham. And first one from Packham is in easily. Packham an 81.5% conversion rate on the free throws. Up and draining the second. So 2 for 2 from the line today as the final 55 seconds begin to tick away of the first quarter. Charlie with the rock, moving up the far sideline. They give on in to Toyson. And long two, no good. With the rebound is Yost. And Cox over to Charlie. Right back to Samantha Cox. Shot clock at 20 for Skagit Valley. Looking for an open shooter, does find Cox. Cox decides to go up front instead. And Yost up front and laid in for two. Credit that basket to Alexis Shipman. And Shipman, another Anchorage, Alaska native. It's the final 15 seconds of the quarter begin to tick away. Packham with the rock, gives back to the middle. 6 seconds, and long three from Lorton, no good. And that is how the first quarter is going to come to an end, as the last second desperation shot is nowhere close. So we played one quarter in Everett, 14-12, LCC with the advantage. We'll be right back after this.
I chose EVCC.
We chose EVCC.
I chose EVCC. Sign up for a tour and find out why.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
Want to advance your career, complete a degree, or earn your high school diploma? Visit clark.edu to learn more. And we welcome you back here as we're about ready to kick off the second quarter of play. The Lower Columbia College Red Devils with a slim one-possession lead. Wes Tucker and Mike Tacko on the call for you. Mike, we saw a very close first quarter, a lot of range game, not a lot of play up front.
No, it really was a very competitive situation, kind of like to Skagit Valley's liking. Lower Columbia started really hot from outside. They imagined they eventually got Wheeler going inside, and we'll see what the Red Devils do on their first possession here to open the period.
They go off to Lorton on the near side of the arc, and now they go outside once more. And Lorton pushing business up, 13 on the shot clock. And up and no good for two that time off the hand of the Red Devil forward. It's by Lou. And 9:36 remaining. It's going to be Skagit Valley basketball from their baseline. In Malayo, not able to come away with those 2 points for the Red Devils. Charlie with the ball gives off over the right side to Yost, and Yost long three, no good. Off the glass, Shipman completely missing the basket, and it'll be Red Devil basketball on the foul. And it's going to be a foul on Samantha Cox. Oh, correction on Alexis Shipman. Looked like the official had signaled 12, but it's going to be 22 instead. So the first personal on Shipman, first team foul of the quarter. As the first minute has just about ticked away. No scoring yet here in the second quarter. Maloyo with the ball. They go way outside to Lofgren. And pushing matters up herself, Maloyo, but no good. Again, the paint game has been non-existent to this point. And there's a foul up front on a good push by Shasta Lofgren. Lofgren, the 5'7" sophomore out of Chehalis, Washington. Not too far a drive from Longview, or as I like to call it, halfway home. And shot is up and drained easily by Lofgren. In Lower Columbia College with 2 points in the paint, everything else has come from beyond the arc and the free throw line. And Charlie with the ball crossing half court. Looking for an open shooter. Finds Garner. Garner. And a long contested two, but a good one from Emily Toyson, and 5'10" freshman out of Monroe, Washington. 8.5 minutes left to go. They go to the corner. Wide open corner three off the front iron. No good. 15-14, Lower Columbia nursing a 1-point lead. Charlie goes toward the outside, nearly picked off, and it's going to be traveling. Called on Yost. Again, 3 traveling calls already in the first half. 2 for Skagit Valley, 1 for the Red Devils.
These teams met on the 7th, Wes, of December, way back when, 68-63, a Lower Columbia win.
Well, a very similar situation to our last setup. Lane with a win over Walla Walla. See if Lower Columbia College can follow the trend of repeating. Maloyo from the baseline finds an open shooter and splash down from downtown. 3 for the Devils, bringing us back to a 2-possession ball game. And now Charlie meanders her way in front of the half-court line. Charlie right on back to Yost. Yost pushing matters up, and now another contested three coming from Toyston, but no good. It's going to be Red Devil basketball from the baseline. .35 remaining here in the first half, trying to seed an Elite Eight matchup that will take place tomorrow. Winner is going to take on Lane Community College. And outside they try to go to get it over to Jacobson, who loses the ball to Charlie. Charlie pulling up and blocked up front by Lorton, out of bounds off the fingertips of Charlie.
I thought it was a really good move. It looked like she was going to pass, and then she decided to go up with it, and I thought, well, that's a great move. That's going to be a basket, and from out of nowhere came Lorton to swat that one away.
I mean, it's not that either team hasn't been trying to put up points in the paint. It's that the other team has just had some fantastic defense when it came to it. Lorton with the rock outside the arc. They go to the corner. Maloyo for three. No good, in and out. 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the first half. Outside they go to Garner. Garner steps back long, corner three, splash down from downtown. And that's going to be a timeout taken. So away we step, 18-17 in favor of the Devils. Right back after this in Everett.
When I first graduated high school, all I wanted to do was go to a four-year because, like, if you went to a community college, it was, like I said, not very competitive. But now being at a community college for 2 years, that makes you grow up as a player way more than you would think just going straight to a four-year. You have a lot of, like, the community members that come out to your games that you know of, and so here I think is where kids really develop their skills, and then they can go on to a four-year. My name is Devaney. I play basketball at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
And away we go here. 6 minutes and 33 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. Next game slated to start at 8 p.m. 2 left, 8 p.m. and then a 10 p.m. game to cap off the Sweet 16. And we've had back and forth here. Lower Columbia clinging to a 1-point lead, Mike.
18-17, Skagit Valley hanging right in and exactly the type of tempo they want. And Lorton and the rest of the Red Devils trying to put a little bit of space between themselves.
Long corner three is no good. And able to keep it in, Lorton, no. It's going to go out of bounds off her touch, and it's going to be Cardinal basketball from the far sideline. 6:13 remaining in the first half. And Garner looking for an open shooter, finds one, takes her time, steps back, pivots, and they give over to Shipman, and long three from Garner, splash down from downtown, and Skagit with their first lead of the ball game. 20-18 in their favor. So the three-point shot has been the name of the game today. Side Lorton pushing upwards, going back. Loyo back and tries to give it to Wheeler, but instead goes off of her fingertips and into the possession of Garner. And swatted away, Wheeler comes away with it, tries a quick pass, but ends up right in the hands of Shipman. Again, Wheeler measuring in at 6'2". Very tough one to try to score on up in the paint, as evidence there of the struggle right now with Van Ness, and there's a foul. And that foul is going to be on Lorton. That is the first foul on Lorton, team's first of the second quarter. 5:07 remaining and a couple of shots for Van Ness. First one skips in and out off the iron, no good.
You look at this Skagit Valley team over the years, and Coach Epperson, 42nd season. I mean, think about that, 42 years at one job.
I mean, he's done a masterful job at it.
39 appearances. Unbelievable.
And 4 championship rings as well. Working around the outside, Maloyo finds an open shooter. It's Mosier. Mosier doubles back. And Maloyo for 3. No good off the front of the iron. So we're going to have a media timeout at the next whistle. Garner on over to Shipman. Shipman looking for an open player. Passes it into Van Ness. Van Ness trying to work her way around a Wheeler. And to no avail. Pushing up, and how about this? No! Trying the short game that time was Lofgren, and nothing to show for it.
Good look for the Red Devils. I think maybe they need to make a concerted effort to get back into Wheeler inside. She had that easy basket that one time, but they haven't really gone to her that much.
And because of the shooting game, Wheeler's left virtually undefended in the paint right now because they realize that the biggest gun right now is that range. And it looks like it's going to be Devil basketball from the baseline, and they aren't going to give us that media timeout. So away we go again. 4:03 remaining here in the first half. Lofgren with the rock finds Lorton. And they go outside to Mosier. Wheeler checks out for a while. Mosier outside. Lorton, long corner 3, splash down from downtown. 21-all. 3 minutes and 35 seconds. A 21-21 contest. This one has not disappointed either. They go outside. Garner contested 3. No good off the back of the iron. Finding an open man, they do so. Here's Shipman. Shipman pushing up, and a foul up front. They're going to get Kata on the foul. That is her second personal. It's the team's second of the second quarter, and Shipman to the line.
Coach Lucas Myers down there talking to Wheeler, saying, hey, if 34 gets another foul, 44, you're going to have to go back in. They're kind of interchangeable inside as they do a great job inside rebounding and altering shots. But they can't afford to have them both out of the game at the same time, Wes, I would not think.
Well, not at all, especially if they want to get that inside game going again. Checking in for the Cardinals, going to be Meek.
And also for Skagit Valley, number 5, Katie Shipper.
And Red Devil basketball from the baseline. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Lofgren looking for a lane. Seems to have found one, but no. It's going to be a foul. That one again on Kata. That's her third personal, so it looks like you're going to have to bring Wheeler back in. As if on cue, here she comes.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Myers was saying to Wheeler. Be ready, because if there's another foul inside, you're going to have to go back in for the final 3 minutes. Now, fortunately for the Red Devils, Wheeler is foul-less in this game, so she can afford to be a little physical inside.
Garner fires over to Van Ness. Van Ness pushing up, and looks like there's Wheeler's first foul right after we start talking about it.
That is on her, and going to give Skagit Valley a chance to
couple shots for Van Ness.
Increase the lead, potentially.
That's the 4th team foul for the Red Devils here in the quarter. Shot up and bricked. No good. Opportunity to shoot one more. With 2:53 on the clock, shot 2 is no good. My goodness. And Lorton comes away with the rock. Wheeler pushing up. Go to Mosier. Now Lorton, and from mid-range, 2 is good. Knocked down, courtesy of Packham.
It's a nice shot by Packham to hit a mid-range jump shot. They've been relying so much on the deep three that it's a big deal for the Red Devils to hit a mid-range jumper, similar to Skagit Valley right there.
Van Ness collecting 2 points in response. 24-23 in favor of the Cardinals. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to tick away here in the first half. Wide open from the top of the key goes Lofgren to Wheeler. Now Lorton feigns 3. And Wheeler for 3. No good off the back of the iron and picked up by Lofgren. Lofgren to the outside, Mosier, Wheeler. And a foul. That one is going to be on Meek.
Only the 3rd team foul though, Wes, so not shooting as she was not going up in the shooting motion. So an opportunity for the Red Devils to bring it in.
So the Meek shall inherit the foul here. And Red Devil basketball from the baseline. They go to the outside for Mosier. Mosier gives right back to Lofgren. 26 seconds on the shot clock. Minute 42, and Lorton splashdown from downtown. 26-24, LCC with a 1-possession lead. And Charlie with the rock. Van Ness pushing up, and they're going to get Van Ness traveling for the 2nd time. Minute 22 left in the half. Red Devils leading 26-24. And Lofgren with the ball. Now up toward the top of the key, and Lorton looked like she was going to shoot 3, but pulled back. They got Lorton wide open in the corner. Steps back, pulls up, puts up for 2, and no good. There is a foul. And that foul is going to be on Van Ness. That's the first foul for Van Ness, the team's 3rd. And shot up and good from Lorton. So opportunity here with 1 minute 5 seconds left for the Red Devils to widen the margin a little bit. As Lorton lines up, the 2nd of 2 is drained. So back to a 2-possession lead for the Red Devils, and that's been the biggest lead either team has had, is 2 possessions.
Yeah, nobody ever able to get any separation so far.
Samantha Cox for 3, splashdown from downtown. 28-27. You see how important that 2-possession lead is now. Both these teams can go off from behind the arc at any given point. 13 seconds on the clock. And Cardinals.
The basket by 14, White that time for a 3-point lead for Lower Columbia.
Now Garner with the rock. They go Charlie. Charlie toward the free throw line they go. Bounce pass right back to her. Now Samantha Cox. Clock down to 5 seconds. Outside corner for 3, and no good, nowhere close. And that is how the first half is going to come to an end. And they score right now, Lower Columbia College 30 and Skagit Valley 27. We'll take a short break, but we'll be right back after this.
I chose EVCC.
We chose EVCC.
I chose EVCC. Sign up for a tour and find out why.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
Welcome back here, halftime at Everett Community College. Lower Columbia leads Skagit Valley 30-27. We have our halftime guests for the game coming up between Peninsula and Highline. I'm joined by a couple of Peninsula Pirates. Going to have you introduce yourselves and where you're from.
I'm Kudok Dana. I'm from Barrow, Alaska. And I'm Cassandra White. I'm from Modesto, California.
Well, in looking at the book that I'm preparing to broadcast the next game, it appears you're on a 10-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll start with you. What's been the key to that streak?
For us, it was just playing up tempo and having really good defense.
How about your comments?
Yeah, I agree with Cuckoo. Just up tempo, getting boards, beating the teams on boards, and minimizing our turnovers.
Now, if I'm correct, and you have to help me out with this, are you in the area where you have to take a ferry to get to the games instead of like a regular bus like most people do? Is that correct?
Yeah, so we drive like an hour and a half to the ferry, and then we get on the ferry and then drive.
And so then when the game ends, you go back to the ferry, you get on the ferry, and then you float home.
Oh, yeah.
And then you drive home after that.
Yeah, we did that all season, but this weekend we're staying in town.
Well, good, yeah. I wouldn't want you to have to do that. I guess my question is the ferries have a schedule, so like if you're playing somewhere and it's a triple overtime game, is there a chance you might miss the ferry?
There is, but luckily we haven't yet, so.
Okay, real quick, going to ask you about your opponent tonight coming up. Highline, a team from the West that I believe maybe you played earlier on in the season, just the second game of the season, and it was a victory for the Pirates. But it's a different type of situation a lot later in the year. We'll start with you. Your thoughts about playing someone that you played so long ago?
So since it was so long ago, I feel like they're a whole different team. Like we're a different team from where we started off, and so we just need to compete and see what they have.
What do you think the keys are tonight?
I think it's just not focusing on what we did when we played them first, but just watching their film and seeing how they are now, their past few games.
All right, well, ladies, thanks so much for taking time. I know you're in the middle of your preparation, so thanks so much for coming up, and best wishes tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
All right, thanks very much. Our guests from Peninsula. And we're welcome back to the Everett Community College halftime of our game between Lower Columbia and Skagit Valley. It's a good one, and we have our guests from Highline. The Highline Thunderbirds getting ready to play the Peninsula Pirates. We'll start with you. Camera's right there. Introduce yourself and tell me where you're from.
I'm Kanani Kramers, and I'm from Gladstone, Oregon.
I'm Jasmina Lafataga, and I'm from Pearl City, Hawaii.
Well, the first thing I want to ask is you already played the Peninsula Pirates very early in the season, November 17th. It was a close win for Peninsula, 10 points. Is you really putting any stake into that game, or because of the fact it was so long ago, you just throw it out?
I say, like, since it was so long ago, it's kind of just water off the shoulders at this point. You know, we got to come out. We're a different team. We've been playing well the second half of the season. During that game, we lost our main post, Sharon Ajayi, to a torn ACL, so that was a struggle during that game. But since then, we were able to transform without her and become a really good team.
Talk about the last couple of games. You're on a 2-game winning streak with wins over Tacoma and Centralia to propel yourself into this. Does that give you some momentum coming into the tournament?
I mean, definitely, yeah, it'll give us some momentum. We're just working on consistency and trying to get wins. We just go one game at a time.
Keys for tonight that you can think of right offhand.
What was that?
The keys for tonight.
Defense. Defense is key for us. We got to get out on some of their shooters, and then offensively, we need to make our shots. Layups is definitely key for us. We've kind of been struggling with that. but defense and making our shots.
Has it been hard to be here? Have you been here all day, or has it been hard to wait around, or has it been okay, fun watching a little bit?
Actually, we didn't come too long ago, so we're good. We're ready to go.
All right. Well, ladies, thanks for coming up during your preparation. Best wishes tonight.
Thank you.
All right. We're back to Everett Community College after this timeout.
It begins with the ball. You see, a ball is not just leather and rubber. A ball is the seed that communities grow around. We're talking split-second moments that become indelible memories. It creates lifelong friendships. It's a reason for people to celebrate. A ball isn't just a ball. It's a life lesson. It's a tool you use to pursue your best. It's how you earn your greatest victories. How you learn to deal with failure. It's a test that you pass. It's a dream that you catch. It's a future you hold in your hands. It's not just a ball. Biden, the official ball of you. It begins with the ball. You see, a ball is not just leather and rubber. A ball is the seed that communities grow around. We're talking split-second moments that become indelible memories. It creates lifelong.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer.
And big welcome back to Everett Community College as we have about 20 seconds left before we start the second half. During all the commotion in halftime, we finally had a winner of the Tulalip Resort and Casino half-court challenge. Again, he was able to get a quick layup, free throw, a three-pointer, and sink the half-court shot, and did so in under 30 seconds. So big congratulations. And we're just about ready to go. Wes Tucker and Mike Tatko keeping you company throughout the course of this contest. Mike stepped out of the booth for a moment. He'll be right back. And we're just about ready to kick things off. Lower Columbia College 30, Skagit 27. 10 minutes on the clock. Third quarter about to begin from the Walt Price Fitness Center on the Everett Community College campus. One more conversation down there between the Zebras, and we're set to go. It's going to be Garner from the far sideline, right in front of the Lower Columbia College radio broadcaster, Kirk Rowland. The ball comes in and immediately given off to Skipmore. Skipmore had a fine first half and did foul twice. And they give off now. It's going to be off the hand of Meek. Aloyo outside, and here's Lorton. Lorton passing up to Wheeler. Wheeler right back to her. Wide open three. Splashdown from downtown. So first half minute has ticked away here in the third quarter. And two more games to be broadcasted today here on the NWAC Sports Network, along with the help of STSPN. As Samantha Cox, too, is nowhere close, completely airballed. And Maloyo with the rock. Surveying her surroundings, picked up 3 points in the first half. Go outside to Lorton. Lorton for the Red Devils is leading the scoring with 18, and Joni Wheeler, how about that? We talked about the paint attack, and they come out firing on it, Mike. So away we go, 8 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. Long three from Skipmore, no good. Rebound, it's Lorton, and no, they're going to call it a held ball. And it's going to remain in Red Devil possession. So 8.5 minutes remaining here in the quarter. 35-27 in favor of the Red Devils. And joining me again in the radio booth, Mike Tatko. Mike, it looks like the Red Devils coming out firing on the paint strategy with Najoni Wheeler.
Well, immediately out of the gate, they put up a couple hoops inside and have some big success and trying to put some separation between themselves and the Cardinals.
Now on the outside, Samantha Cox trying to work her way past Mosier. Mosier right on back. Cox, long two, no good. Rebound is going to be won by Van Ness. And Mosier comes away with the arid bounce pass. Directing traffic outside, they go to Lofgren, and Lofgren way out to Lorton, and Lorton just not tall enough to haul that one in.
She throws it to a few other people on the team, and maybe so, but not that particular time.
Not this time. Again, Lorton measuring in at 5'8". Again, one of the smaller players in the tournament. 5'4" has been the smallest we've had so far throughout the women's bracket. As Skipmore saunters across half court with the rock, they go to Garner. Garner trying to work her play past Mosier. And gives it right back to Skipmore. 16 seconds on the shot clock for the Cardinals. And here comes Cox. Side Garner, contested three, splashdown from downtown, 35-30.
It was threatening to get away from the Cardinals, West, but they come back with a big hoop there to stay in it.
And now working her way up is Maloyo. Indeed, finds a Red Devil up front, and that is Madeline Jacobson. Freshman out of Ilwaco getting it done with a 2-point bucket. And Garner passing up in, Van Ness right back, and 2-pointer from Skipmore, no good. And Wheeler with the block up front, and all alone, 3 Devils. They give off to Lofgren, who lays it in for an easy 2. So LCC coming out firing here with 6:35 to play in the quarter. And timeout is going to be taken. So LCC firing on all cylinders. Right back in Everett after this.
Our monitor wasn't on for a while.
Training is definitely making myself better, but I know that it's going to end up making my teammates better.
You have to know your teammate and know what they need.
The cohesion on the field and off the field is what makes everyone strong.
Being on a team, you know it's not just you out there.
I would do anything for the player next to me, behind me, in front of me.
Practicing day in and day out, trying to be the best me so they can be the best them. It's like a sisterhood that you have with those girls.
It's just really empowering. They're all doing crazy things. And you want to be like them, and you want to push yourself like them.
Motivates me to work harder, to get faster, quicker.
Pushing each other so hard, all for the same goal. And then when you accomplish it, that's the best feeling in the world.
Once you tap into that, I think.
Back now, 6:35 remaining in the third quarter. Lower Columbia College nursing a 9-point lead, biggest differential we have had in this game. LCC coming out firing on the close game after firing on the long game in the first half, Mike.
Well, again, they've really separated themselves from Skagit Valley, and the Cardinals really need to make the most of some possessions, and they just about threw it away there.
It's going to be a foul, resulting in Skagit basketball, and that one is going to be on Packham. And for Packham, that's her first personal, team's first of the quarter. Side near Maloyo able to take care of it, and Garner collects two, a long two. Boy, getting these 2-point shots, they're not making it easy for themselves. Go up underneath the basket, and a mid-range two that time from Jacobson of the Red Devils. 41-33 the score, and jump ball going to remain with Skagit Valley. 5 minutes and 53 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, a whole quarter yet to play.
They're checking something at the table. I think they want to make sure they have the possession arrow. Correct. The Cardinals think they have the basketball, and they do. Well, they're pointing.
Pointing as if there's going to be there, and it looks like we're good to go. Garner from the far sideline. And with the rock now, Skipworth, Samantha Cox dumps back over to the right corner. And pushing up is Skipmore. Skipmore loses the ball and now ends up in the possession of Jacobson of the Red Devils.
Well, they turned it over, or they changed it up that time, Wes, with some trapping defense. Did a good job that time, did the Red Devils.
And another 2-point opportunity, and the Devils are picking them apart now. And now Skagit's anticipating those long 3 shots and instead are getting picked apart in the paint.
Very efficient with their possessions the last several times down, have the Red Devils been.
And long mid-range 2, no good, picked up. And from the free throw line, they get back to Garner. Garner one-on-one Maloya, long 3 off the front iron, no good. And that ball is going to be picked off. Nearly picked off again, and successfully so. Retaining possession is Cox, and it's going to be Skagit basketball as a foot of Lorton went out of bounds. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout here. No, we're not. And there is the timeout. So away we step. It's 43-32 in Everett. LCC 9 points up.
When I first graduated high school, all I wanted to do was go to a 4-year, because if you went to a community college, it was, like you said, not very competitive. But now being at a community college for 2 years, that makes you grow up as a player way more than you would think just going straight to a 4-year. You have a lot of the community members that come out to your games that you know of, and so here I think is where kids really develop their skills, and then they can go on to a 4-year. My name is Devaney. I play basketball at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
Back in beautiful Everett, Washington, 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in quarter number 3. Lower Columbia College, 43-32 the score. And it's Skagit basketball from the far sideline. Skipmore with the rock approaching the top of the key, doubles back towards half court, and now passing up toward the free throw line. Here comes Samantha Cox. Mid-range 2 is drained. So first points out of the immediate timeout go to the Cardinals. 4.5 minutes left, and again, all alone in the paint is Jacobson.
Can't leave her that far alone, especially when you're trying to get back into the game.
So 9 points, still the differential. Side they go, Garner passing back to Skipmore. Charlie right back to Garner, and now feigning to, and jump ball from right behind the free throw line. And Skipmore to bring the rock back into play. And corner 3, splash down from downtown. That's going to be Charlie credited with it. 3:55 to go, 45-37 the score. And putting it in, stolen, and Red Devil is fouled. And the Devil that was fouled is Packham. So she will go to the line to shoot, and the foul is going to be on Garner. That's her first personal. And the team's first as well. Packham to shoot, and good on the first. So ready again as Lorton checks back in for Lower Columbia. Second shot is good as well. So back to a 10-point lead now. That is the biggest lead either team has had, Lower Columbia on the good end of it. And pushing to the outside, Samantha Cox gives right back to Skipmore. Skipmore at the arc, doubles back. Shot clock at 16 seconds. And Skipmore again looking for an open shooter. They go backwards toward Charlie. Stolen away by Maloyo. Pushing up, and easy 2 for the Devils. So ball back now in the possession of Skipmore and the Cardinals. 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the quarter. They go backwards to Charlie. Now wide open 3, Garner. No good off the back iron, and no good on the follow-up either. And it's going to be a couple of shots. And to the line to shoot for the Cardinals is going to be Emily Toyson. And checking back in for Skagit is Mackenzie Yost. And Mosier for the Red Devils. Shot up and no good. Rebound Lorton. Lorton rushing up, nearly loses the ball to Garner. Quick little handoff to Lofgren. And Lofgren from the top of the key goes back to Lorton. Lorton feigns 3. Looks back to Lofgren. Lofgren in. And easy mid-range jumper for Emily Packham. Sophomore out of Income, Idaho. 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the quarter, and quality defense by Jacobson up front. They go now again. Mosier unable to finish it off, and Garner with the rock. Garner looking for an open shooter. Pushing up, they go outside. Garner again, steps back. Looking for someone open, they backward go to Skipmore. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Charlie pushing matters. 7 seconds, and beautifully blocked up front by Jacobson. Minute and 41 seconds in the quarter. And we got one more quarter of NWAC women's basketball here. Then we got a couple more games for you as the mid-range two from Peckham is good.
Well, they've started to really do it all, Wes. They've always been able to hit from outside. We've seen that beyond the arc. They've had success with Wheeler inside, and now they're hitting the mid-range stuff. It's tough for Skagit Valley to guard all three things.
Oh, very tough indeed. And Skagit Valley still trying to get something going here in the third quarter. It's stolen away by Lorton. Lorton passes up Mosier and has it stolen by Skipmore, so some good luck there for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I like Katie Skipworth. She's a kid from Skagit Valley, a sophomore returning who, look at that, drive to the hoop and really just creates a lot to Skipworth. That time she didn't get the basket, but her teammate did.
And Skipworth been doing a fantastic job for the Cardinals at this point as the final 50 seconds begin to tick away of the quarter. And into the possession of the Cardinals just as fast. It's Toyson who came away with it. Skipworth working her way on the outside. Gets the ball right back. A little game of catch. Charlie for three from the corner. No good. And the game clock and shot clock, one and the same. Open is Peckham for two. In Lower Columbia College, looking like the absolute dominant figure in this contest now. Final 8 seconds. Skipworth pushing up to go outside. Charlie for three and no good. Lorton with the ball, and that's how the third quarter is going to come to an end. Lower Columbia College 55, Skagit 39. Right back in Everett after this.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye? That when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question. Did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quade? See ya! Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
I want to tell you, Hoop Fest looking fun in Spokane this year. Got a couple thousand teams out there and a few thousand players. Always a big weekend out there in Eastern Washington.
It's just a couple hours north of where I'm from, and I've been to that event. Have to say, Wes, never participated, but I've watched it many times. It's a good time.
I mean, you look young enough to still be out there.
I could play in the 50 and older group, Wes.
There you go. So back to the action now. Red Devils with the ball. Peckham outside. Lorton, long three. Splash down from downtown.
Well, they're on a 28-12 run since the half. They've turned a 30-27 halftime lead into a 58-39 lead.
Boy, and I tell you, now that they're expecting Lower Columbia to go up and play the paint They give to Shipman. Shipman to Charlie. Charlie, long three, and no good again. And up for two, and a foul.
Great job. Good position that time by the Cardinal post to draw the foul, have a couple of free throws. Just kind of snuck inside the Lower Columbia Red Devil that time and got some good position.
So Caitlin Meek to the free throw line. And no. Hits a little bit of everything but the net.
Right.
You hear nothing but net all the time. How about everything but net on the free throw? Second one up and no good either, so a huge opportunity passed up by the Cardinals. Loyo to Lorton. Lorton right back to her. Mosier, long toss across the court. And Maloyo right back to Lorton. Shot clock at 5 seconds. Loyo, long three, and off the front iron, no good, out of bounds. It'll be Cardinal basketball.
The Cardinals in a situation now, Wes, where they need to start thinking about maybe hoisting up some threes to try to erase this 20-point deficit.
Again, nothing harder to do, especially in the last quarter, to erase such a hefty deficit. They go toward the corner, pushing the matter now. Here's Shipman, mid-range two, no good off the back iron.
Good job by Skipworth.
Skipworth passes back off, another mid-range two off the back iron yet again for the Cardinals, and a foul. And that foul is going to be on Toyson. It's her second personal, team's first in the fourth quarter. 6 minutes and 35 seconds to tick off in this ball game. Long lob up front. They lob it right back to the outside of the arc. And Lorton unguarded, can't convert the three, and it's going to be Skagit basketball. 6 minutes and 16 seconds, 62-42 the score. And a couple players checking in for Skagit. It is going to be Garner checking in, as well as Tiana Soberano Foster. So Skipworth with the basketball saunters her way across half court. 6 minutes and 10 seconds left to play here in the game. Samantha Cox on over and unable to convert. Packham away with the rebound. And way across, Lorton was relatively unguarded. And Maloyo right back to her. Corner three once more, and in and out it goes. It's going to be Devil basketball.
Well, and a new shot clock for them, West, and so Lower Columbia really in no hurry to get anything going. They can take their time, take 20 seconds off each possession, and because Skagit Valley has only scored 15 points basically in a quarter and a half, Lower Columbia really doesn't have to feel threatened that the Cardinals are going to make a run.
So what's happened to this Skagit Valley attack that was hanging with the Devils through the first half?
I think it's a combination of two things. I think Lower Columbia has really stepped up the defense. I also think Skagit Valley has just hit a cold spell, and everybody does it, and just not a good time for Steve Epperson's crew.
Not at all, and that foul is going to be on the newly checked in player, Tiana Sobrano Foster. Her first personal, the team's second. And throwing it in from the baseline is going to be Lofgren. Lofgren again, long three from the corner, and off the glass and back iron, no good. And ball immediately goes back to Lorton. So 25 seconds on the clock. See how much the Red Devils like to eat.
They've had the ball down this side of the court for about a minute of game time, Wes.
And nearly stolen away by Lorton as Garner tries to break away from friendly territory. And we've reached the 5-minute marker. And Shipman back out. Shot for two is no good off the rim. And there is a jump ball. And it's going to be Skagit Valley basketball, and it's going to be a timeout as well. So away we step Just under 5 to play. 62-42 LCC.
We see you. Be your curious self at Clark College.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
Back we get now to Everett Community College. 4:57 remaining in this contest between the West #1 seed and the East #4 Skagit Valley LCC. Again, Wes Tucker and Mike Tatko on the call for you. As we're about to wind things down here, pass goes back to the outside of the arc. Mid-range 2 is drained, courtesy of Shanice Carr. Again, Carr collecting her first points of the match. And they go back to the middle. Maloyo, Lorton. Looks like she wanted to shoot 3, but passes it right back. And they go off to Lofgren. Lofgren. And no good. So good lengthy possession by the Red Devils as 37 seconds ticked off so far in this half. Quick bucket out of the timeout for the Cardinals, and now they try to get outside to Garner and laid in for 2. Red Devils come away with 2 more, 64-44, still a 20-point deficit. And outside 3, Carr splashdown from downtown. And see a little more of a lackadaisical approach here, crossing half court. Got to eat as much time as you can with each possession now if you're LCC.
They're almost to the point, Wes, where they wouldn't even have to score if they just take some time off the clock. But another mid-range jumper.
It's going to be Emily Packman collecting again, the 5'8" sophomore out of Income, Idaho. 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in the game. Shipman tries to find an open shooter, goes to Garner. Garner over to Carr. And now Shipman from the free throw line collects 2 for the Cardinals. And a timeout's going to be taken by Skagit Valley. So away we step. Lower Columbia still the advantage, 66-48.
I am strong. I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination. Confidence. I trust my gut. No limits.
Preparation.
Dedication. Leadership. I want to make my team and family proud.
Be an inspiration for other girls who like sports.
Join the movement.
LCC still leading 66-48, 3:09 left in the game, so not an impossible feat for the Cardinals. It's just going to be bloody difficult. And Lower Columbia College came out firing with 3s to open up the game, and since then they've gone to a nice variety. You can call them the ABC of basketball right now.
Well, and D, if you add defense.
That's true. Got to put the defense in there.
They have really done well here in the second half. They've held them to just 21 points after giving up 27 in the first half.
Outside, Lorton, uncontested 3 off the glass, no good. And under 3 minutes to play, Skagit Valley is going to give it to Cox. Cox trying to work her way across and does so successfully. Now on the outside of the arc is Carr. Shot clock down to 15 seconds. They put up to Shipman. Shipman not able to finish it off. And possession is going to be won by the Cardinals. It's stolen away by Lorton. So a lengthy possession there for the Cardinals, and taking a lot of time before taking an attempt at the bucket. 2:15 remaining. Lorton with the rock, using a screen that was set up by Hopkins, and it's going to be Skagit Valley possession. Just over 2 minutes remaining. And Jacobson will check back in for Lower Columbia. Winner advancing to play Lane Community College tomorrow at 5 p.m. as Women's Elite 8 basketball picks up. And trying to dribble around her, but to no avail. Samantha Cox for two and drains it. And LCC all but certain to win this, and a timeout taken by the Red Devils. So away we step again. Minute 46 remaining in the contest. LCC on top by 16.
When I first graduated high school, all I wanted to do was go to a four-year, because like if you went to a community college, it was, like I said, not very competitive. But now being at a community college for 2 years, that makes you grow up as a player way more than you would think just going straight to a four-year. You have a lot of like the community members that come out to your games that you know of, and so here I think is where kids really develop their skills, and then they can go on to a four-year. My name is Devaney. I play basketball at Centralia College, and I go boldly.
Minute 46 remaining here in the contest. Good one brewing with Lower Columbia College and Skagit Valley. Winner advancing to the Elite 8. Loser will head back home. And it's Red Devil basketball from the far sideline, just to the left there of the NWAC table. So they give off Lofgren. Lofgren passes right back over to Hopkins. Hopkins, deflected three, taken away. Up she goes, and 2 points for the Cardinals after the timeout as the final minute and a half rears its head.
Well, within 14, that's the closest they've been since the quarter. It was 16 at the quarter and as much as 20. And Skagit Valley making a little bit of a dent here, Wes, but I think too little too late.
Oh, I agree there as the ball is brought back down by Yost, and Yost with the offensive foul.
And one of the Cardinals, or Red Devils, is down.
And that is Jacobson sitting on the near sideline. And training staff.
Right there, I don't know if she has blood, or the trainer immediately went back to the tent, which happens to be right at that corner, and she's up.
Indeed, it looks to be some blood.
The assistant coach, Spencer Rowland, attending to her, and they will look like they're going to get some type of a gauze pad or something there.
And so we'll step away and give her some air. Minute 13 left in Everett. Be right back.
We see you. Be your curious self at Clark College.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
I think they must have went to the video review to see about that. Maybe there was like a perceived elbow or something, because they called the coaches together here.
So we'll see exactly what happens. A minute 13 left in the game. We'll talk about an unsung hero of this contest. Can point it out is Jerry Malloy, 11 assists so far in the contest. And again, you can't get anywhere without him.
Well, you can't, and it's a quiet deal. It's not like she got a whole bunch in a row, or if she did, it got past me. But all of a sudden, I looked at the stat sheet, and I'm like, wow, 11 assists.
Yeah, that's a prolific game. It looks like they are going to give a technical. And shot is no good. Again, 73 seconds remaining in the contest. Safe to say at this point, LCC has secured their seat in the Elite 8 game. That'll take place tomorrow at 5. And now we're ready to go. So 0 for 2 on the wide open court free throws.
Maybe that was the reason. No one there to. You feel comfortable when there's people in the lane, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
And when there's nobody there, it can be a little unsettling.
You feed off the excitement of the situation. And pushing up and able to collect 2 there.
See, she had 3 people all around her, laid it in, but she couldn't make it a free throw with nobody around. So good job by Jacobson.
So 55 seconds remaining. Cardinals looking to just add a couple stats here to the columns. Clock ticks to 45. Samantha Cox comes down with it. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Looking for an open woman, finds Shipman. And that one goes out of bounds. It'll remain with the Cardinals. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 38.2 seconds left in the game clock. And now it's Cardinal basketball from the baseline. Go up, mid-range 2 is in and out, no good. And Lower Columbia with the rebound. Gonna have a chance to eat up a lot of time here. 27 seconds left in the game, 20 on the shot clock for the Devils. Outside to Morris, and outside 3, skipping in and out. So shot clock and game clock down to the same number. Here in the contest, Shipman, long contested 3, no good off the backboard, and they give off to Lofgren, and that's going to settle it. Lower Columbia College advancing to the Elite 8, 68-52. The final score. Again, Mike Tecco, any other thoughts before we go home?
Well, a 30-27 lead, and they just slowly, steadily increased it in the second half, and they did it from inside, mid-range, and way outside. So kudos to Lower Columbia. Congratulations on getting to the Elite 8. And Skagit Valley didn't go away. They never do. They are a tough out. They were again this year.
And we got 2 more broadcast games here for you on the NWAC Sports Network. Still a lot of basketball to go from Everett, Washington. Until then, from all of us here at the Northwestern Athletic Conference, the crew at STSPN, our producer extraordinaire, Todd Elvig, and for Mike Tatko, I'm Wes Tucker. We'll see you in a little while.